A nigga winning for real. Better call 911. This nigga got a gun just spitting for fun.
Any nigga that ever looked at me wrong owes me money or ever said any jealous bullshit about me is fucking dead. You understand what the fuck I'm saying? It's fucking dead.
I gave cheese to a rat, end up giving me rabies. For the dance from the devil, end up giving the babies. Pick your poison, make them sweat. Retain water, they'll give you the salt. Sprinkle it all on you, try to kill you with thoughts. What they think doesn't matter. As soon as it do, the big grizzly turns sweet. You Winnie the Pooh. I kill your mama, stop playing, can't pay me to shoot. I'm a wizard, I come flip your disguise as a blizzard. I came for all the chicken, even the gizzard. I say I came for all the chicken, even the. And fuck how much records that I sell with this shit. Before rap like dipstick, broke a record once held by lipstick. I flip shit.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that? Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that?
Notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women, and fast cars.
You should from now on address me as the mayor.
If ever a man and a municipality were made for each other, it is this man, this place.
What's up, you guys? This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report news break. Real quickly, tonight we do have the debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Yes, many people are looking forward to this debate. We did see the first debate, which was very consequential for Joe Biden. Let's see what happens with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump tonight. A lot of controversy about the rules, but it looks like they're going to go ahead with the debate. Well, let's get into some clips.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because today's story is one for the history books. Literally. Imagine being a former president of the United States, one of the most polarizing figures of our time, and yet no one wants to publish your book. Yes, you heard that right. Donald Trump, the man who's made headlines every day since he came down that infamous golden escalator, is finding himself out in the cold in the literary world. Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, folks, every president from George Washington to Barack Obama has written a memoir post office. These books are often huge bestsellers, filled with insider stories, reflections on their time in power, and of course a bit of legacy building. But Trump, he's got nothing, nada, zilch. The biggest names in publishing, Penguin Random House, HarperCollins, Macmillan, they've all slammed the door in his face. So, what's going on here? Is it because he's a terrible writer? Maybe. But let's be honest, ghostwriters exist for a reason. The real problem is much deeper and darker. The January 6th insurrection left a stain on Trump's record that no amount of bleach could scrub away. Publishers are terrified of the backlash. They're not willing to risk their reputations to fact-check a manuscript filled with lies, exaggerations, and a dangerous rewriting of history. But here's where it gets juicy. Trump isn't just struggling to get published because of his post-presidency baggage. No, it turns out he's been burning bridges with publishers for years. Before he even ran for president, he had screwed over so many people in the industry that they just flat out refused to work with him. Talk about a self-inflicted wound. And if you think that's bad, it gets worse. Trump's lack of a book deal isn't just an embarrassing blow to his ego. It's a sign of desperation. He's been banned from Twitter, barely gets airtime on Fox News, and is almost entirely absent from mainstream media. A memoir could have been his ticket back into the spotlight, but now, even that's slipping through his fingers. But why is he so desperate? Well, Trump knows he's in trouble. The January 6th hearings have shown the world just how much of a legal and political quagmire he's in. He needs to be back in the public eye, not just to feed his endless hunger for attention, but to rally his base and scare off potential challengers for 2024. The earlier he announces his candidacy, the harder it is for anyone else to get a foothold.
Hitherto 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? The unification of Congress. Excuse me, condoms. demystifying the squalor of profanity over and over again. Here, let me digress my bowels for a minute and right to the front, the nondescript hernia rectifies the miscommunication of fetal or fecal, depending on where your head is at.
Reading is fundamental.
So let's do not be persecuted by the pompous fedora balanced by the equilibrium fortified by the government's inability to eradicate or foreshadow, taken from the Hebrew word for skin.
Understand what you read. He doesn't.
Well, there's a lot going on out in the world outside of the debate. People are still interested in other things. As a matter of fact, this presidential election has turned off a lot of people in politics. You've seen people switching sides. You've seen a lot of turmoil with this season. Well, looking forward to seeing what's next. Let's get into some more clips.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
In case you missed it, Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill got pulled over for speeding and then was detained by police after he was non-cooperative with law enforcement. Now sports media members are suggesting if he wasn't a star wide receiver, if he wasn't Tyreek Hill, the police officers might have killed him.
This is terrible, right? And I'm a good friend of Tyreek Hill. And I'm so mad it happened, but on the other side, I am kind of glad it did happen. You know why? Because you get to see what it feels like to be a black man in America, though, right? The difference is this person, this young man that's getting detained like this, is a superstar athlete. So he's going to continue to have his life. If it was somebody else, they might not have had their life. They might not have had a chance to go to the Dolphins game. They might have got shot. The problem with this is the way they're handling him, you'd have thought he robbed a bank, he did a murder, he did attempted murder, he did something. We want the police to protect and serve. Is that like protecting? Is that like serving? No, because this is common in our society. This is super common. This is wrong. And when you see this stink. If he wasn't Tyreek Hill, it could have gotten way more serious.
Commentary like what you just watched is exactly why people have been turned off to sports. Can we have a legitimate conversation about what happened here? Were the police officers maybe too aggressive? Debatable. Let's talk about it. Was Tyreek Hill non-compliant? Yes, that's factual. But of course, you gotta push a narrative. You gotta get the clicks. You gotta get people to watch your show. You gotta push the agenda that all cops are bad. And just like what LeBron James said and Colin Kaepernick said, all black men are under attack by police. It is such nonsense.
I would say this, folks. The president is not going to change our situation. We have to change our own situation by supporting small businesses, starting small businesses, definitely knowing your neighbor. It's the only way that we're going to hold together. This country is holding together by a thread, and a lot of people are really, really afraid of the future. Well, let's hear your comments on the state of America and tonight's debate. This is WD3. This is your Hill Report News Break. Comment, comment, comment.